Hello and thank you for tuning into News Today, a series where we break down the day's top stories with precision and clarity. Without delay, let's explore the headlines first. Supreme Court has directed all states and UTs to provide ration cards to migrant laborers registered on eShram portal within 2 months. Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2024 has been notified. Indian Army establishes Specialized Technology Unit STEAG for future warfare. Gas Authority of India Limited sets up India's first small-scale liquefied natural gas unit at Vijaypur, Madhya Pradesh. Ministry of New and Renewable Energy unveils guidelines for various subcomponents of National Green Hydrogen Mission. Draft Karnataka Gig Workers Conditions of Service and Welfare Bill 2024 passed. Starting with the first news. Supreme Court has directed all states and UTs to provide ration cards to migrant laborers registered on eShram portal within 2 months. eShram portal of Ministry of Labour and Employment aims at creating a national database of unorganized workers for providing welfare benefits. Out of around 29 crore registrants, around 8 crore do not have ration cards and do not receive subsidized food grains under National Food Security Act 2013. For ensuring food security, under the National Food Security Act for migrants, the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution is implementing the One Nation, One Ration Card plan. It allows both the migrant beneficiary in destination state or UT and his/her family in origin state to claim their part of the entitled ration. The Supreme Court also directed that ration cards must be issued irrespective of the quotas defined in Section 3 of National Food Security Act 2013. Section 3 contains provisions for eligible households who have the right to receive subsidized food grains. It entitles priority households to receive 5 kgs of subsidized food grains per person per month and Antyodaya Anna Yojana households to receive 35 kgs of subsidized food grains per household per month. Presently, the government is providing these food grains free of cost to Antyodaya Anna Yojana and priority households under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Now let's also discuss and know about the National Food Security Act 2013. The Act marks a paradigm shift in approach to food security from welfare to rights-based approach. It is implemented by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. It legally entitles up to 75% of rural and 50% of urban population, covering around 80 crore persons, to receive subsidized food grains. Moving ahead, Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2024 has been notified. The Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has notified the rules under the Environment Protection Act 1986 to amend Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016. Let's start by first having a look at the key highlights of the amended rules. It inserts new rule for responsibility of panchayats at district level to undertake assessment of plastic waste generated and plastic waste management infrastructure available at district level. Plastic Waste Management or PWM Rules 2016 had provisions for responsibility of Gram Panchayat related waste segregation, collection and storage. New rules also underline the responsibility of producers, importers and brand owners who introduces any plastic packaging in the market shall be responsible for collection of such plastic packaging. Fulfillment of Extended Producer Responsibility or EPR is deemed to be part of the above responsibility. EPR means the responsibility of a producer for environmentally sound management of a product until the end of its life. Further, new rule mandates every manufacturer and importer of plastic raw material to submit quarterly and annual reports online to the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee. It also lays down the responsibility of every urban local body and panchayat at district level to submit annual reports to urban or rural development departments and State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee, which shall be audited by State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee or other designated agency. At last now, let's also have a look at the other initiatives taken to address plastic pollution. Government banned use of single-use plastics from July 1, 2022. Swachh Bharat Mission was launched, which made efforts towards source segregation, collection, transportation and processing of plastic waste. And lastly, Waste to Wealth Mission was launched to promote a circular economy in plastic and other urban waste management. To the next news. Indian Army establishes Specialized Technology Unit STEAG for future warfare. STEAG, which stands for Signals, Technology, Evaluation and Adaptation Group, is the first of its kind unit to undertake research and evaluation in futuristic communication technologies such as AI, electronic warfare systems, and 6G networks. It is part of the Indian Army's On Path to Transformation initiative and is in line with making 2024 as the year of technology absorption for the Indian Army. Its objective is to identify and implement most suitable technologies to enhance Indian Army's communication infrastructure and nurture technologies across wired and wireless systems. Further, if we talk about the significance of STEAG, then it provides user interface support by maintenance and upgradation of contemporary technologies available in the environment. Also, it helps bridge the gap between armed forces, industry, and academia. Moreover, it helps make India self-reliant in the field of high-end communication technologies and also helps overcome monopoly of a selected few countries. Let's now understand the need of STEAG due to the changing nature of warfare. Modern warfare offers precision and automation through drones and laser weapons which are used for targeted strikes. Also, advanced intelligence gathering through networks of sensors, satellites, and AI-powered data tools for real-time battlefield awareness and identification of potential threats is changing the nature of warfare. Additionally, tactics like grey zone warfare, which fall between direct conflict and peace with its scope enhanced by technological advancements such as network-centric warfare, are being used. At last, let's also have a look at some other initiatives taken to improve future readiness of Indian Army. These include Defense Cyber Agency, which is a tri-service organization dealing with cyber issues. Next, Command Cyber Operations Support Wings to protect the communication and cyber missions for grey zone and conventional military operations. And lastly, Secure Army Mobile Bharat version or Sambhav handsets, which offers end-to-end secure mobile ecosystem.
In another news, Gas Authority of India Limited GAIL sets up India's first small-scale liquefied natural gas SSLNG unit at Vijaypur, Madhya Pradesh. GAIL was incorporated in 1984 as a central public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas for accelerating and optimizing the effective and economic use of natural gas. Small-scale liquefied natural gas or SSLNG generally refers to supplying gas in its liquid or super-chilled form, that is LNG or liquefied natural gas, to industrial and commercial consumers through specialized trucks and small vessels in regions not having pipeline connectivity. Traditionally, LNG is regasified and supplied through gas pipelines. Major use cases for SSLNG include marine fuel, power generation in off-grid locations and transport fuel. LNG typically comprises of around 90% methane along with ethane, propane, butane and trace amounts of nitrogen. Its faster adoption across sectors is one of the requirements for fulfilling India's vision of gas-based economy. India also aims to increase natural gas share in primary energy mix to 15% by 2030 from present 6%. Now let's understand the significance of promoting natural gas. Firstly, LNG fuel usage leads to lower carbon emissions and less pollution compared to other conventional hydrocarbons. Also, LNG is a cheaper alternative for clean energy. Lastly, it is a key transition fuel for transportation, cooking and industrial use. Furthermore, here are the initiatives taken for promoting gas-based economy. National Natural Gas Grid. Revised Guidelines for City Gas Distribution Network 2022. New Domestic Natural Gas Pricing Guidelines 2014. Draft LNG Policy 2021 and lastly, National Coal Gasification Mission. Moving on to the next news, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy unveils guidelines for various subcomponents of National Green Hydrogen Mission NGHM. Green hydrogen is the hydrogen produced by splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis using renewable energy. National Green Hydrogen Mission is for a period of financial year 2023-24 to financial year 2029 and 30. Its objective is to make India a global hub for producing, utilizing and exporting green hydrogen and its derivatives. Mission's subcomponents include Strategic Interventions for Green Hydrogen Transition Program, Green Hydrogen Hubs, R&D Program and Skill Development. Now take a look at the guidelines for different subcomponents of the mission. Guidelines aim to set up at least 2 green hydrogen hubs by financial year 2025-26 with support for development of core infrastructure at hubs. Hydrogen Hub is an identified geographical region with network of hydrogen producers, storage, processing and transportation infrastructure and end users. Another, skilling, upskilling and reskilling through short-term training (STT), recognition of prior learning (RPL) and creating centers of excellence. Also, the site program's component 1 is to provide support for electrolyzer manufacturing. It is being implemented by MNRE through Solar Energy Corporation of India. And site component 2 deals with incentives on production of green hydrogen. Lastly, R&D scheme supports hydrogen production, storage, compression, transportation, utilization and more till financial year 2025 and 26. In the last news for the day, Draft Karnataka Gig Workers Conditions of Service and Welfare Bill 2024 passed. State Government of Karnataka shared the draft bill with stakeholders which aims to ensure income security, occupational safety and establish grievance redress mechanism for welfare of gig workers. Currently, Rajasthan is the only state to have legislation for welfare of gig workers. Gig workers means a person who performs work or participates in a work arrangement and earns from such activities outside of traditional employer-employee relationship as per Code on Social Security 2020. Gig workers are broadly classified into two categories. Platform-based gig workers use online software apps or digital platforms for their work. And non-platform-based gig workers are casual wage workers in conventional sectors working part-time or full-time. In the terms of status of gig economy in India provided by Niti Aayog, approximately 2.6% of non-agricultural workforce, that is 7.7 million, were engaged in gig economy 2020-21. Gig workforce is expected to expand 23.5 million by 2029 and 30. Moving on, here are the reasons for growth of gig economy. It provides flexibility to workers in terms of switching jobs, freedom to choose work hours and more. It also provides flexibility to employers in terms of scalable workforce, access to specialized skills and reduced operating costs. Lastly, technological reasons for growth of gig economy includes increased penetration of internet, surge in e-commerce resulting in increased demand for delivery and logistics services. The concerns regarding gig economy include low wages, poor upward mobility within organization, and lack of social security. Lastly, let's learn a little about the statutory framework for gig economy in India. Code on Social Security 2020, which provides for extension of social security benefits to gig workers as well. Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020, which promotes safe and healthy work environment and also regulates contract labor. In today's Place in News, we will discuss Bulgaria with its capital Sofia. Recently, the Indian Navy rescued hijacked Bulgarian ship Ration and its crew. Let's discuss its political features. It is located in Balkan Peninsula of southeastern Europe and is a member of European Union. The bordering countries are Turkey and Greece in south, North Macedonia and Serbia in west, Romania in north. And the surrounding water body is the Black Sea. In terms of geographical features, its major rivers include Danube, Maritsa, Struma, Skar. And mountain ranges include Balkan Mountains, Rila, Pirin, Rhodops. Its highest point is Mount Musala.
As we conclude today's main news, let's go through some quick updates. World Happiness Report 2024 released by UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network. It evaluates levels of happiness by 6 key variables: healthy life expectancy, GDP per capita, social support, low corruption, generosity, and freedom. National Highways Infra Trust completed the largest infrastructure investment trust monetization for national highway stretches. It is a collective investment scheme similar to a mutual fund. It also enables direct investment from individual and institutional investors in infrastructure projects to earn a small portion of income as return. The Bank of Japan ended negative interest rates, which were introduced in Japan in 2016. A negative interest rate is an unconventional monetary policy tool where central banks set target interest rates less than 0%. It aims to address deflationary pressure and recession in the economy. The forest departments of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu forged an interstate agreement to safeguard forest communities as well as animals under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act involved in conflict and conserve ecosystems. It specifies action plans for conservation and mitigating conflict situations, foster collaboration in intelligence sharing, exchange resources, and more. A new study finds that drainage canals for peatlands are a major source of carbon emission. Peatlands are a terrestrial wetland ecosystems with waterlogged conditions which slow down the decay process, which prevents plant material from fully decomposing. Indonesia is pioneering large-scale cultivation projects of seaweed in East Lombok with support and collaboration from India. Seaweed is a common name for species of marine plants and algae that grow in the oceans as well as in rivers, lakes, and other water bodies. The USA's Environmental Protection Agency banned all forms of deadly carcinogen asbestos. Asbestos is a group of naturally occurring fibrous minerals having extraordinary tensile strength, poor heat conduction, and resistance to chemicals. India has not banned use of any type of asbestos. Researchers from IIT Madras developed a method for creating bauxite residue, known as red mud, using phosphoric acid to extract valuable materials from it. Some such materials, such as ceramic, have dielectric and optical properties, with potential applications in electronic components and energy storage. Before we go, it's time to put your knowledge to test in today's segment of Test Your Learning.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of News Today. To get the answers to today's quiz and to download the PDF of News Today, make sure to check out the links in the description below.